In the headlines, a 12-year jail sentence for Clarence Lewis for the 2012 murder of Marvin Robinson. U.S. scientists predict 12 named storms for the 2016 Atlantic hurricane season. And Dominica's conservation practices commended as research continues on the elusive Dablote bird. I am Kenny Williams with the Channel 5 News. Details after this. First up, a 12-year jail sentence for Clarence Lewis of Newtown, who pleaded guilty a month ago to the murder of Marvin Robinson of Girardel. Here's more.
75-year-old Marvin Robinson was stabbed several times about her body at her Girardel home on 3rd November 2012, Independence Day. Initially, both Lewis and Bernie Samuel of Gutter Village were charged with the crime. However, when they appeared at High Court on 14th March 2016, the prosecution dropped the murder charge against Samuel after his not guilty plea. He was expected to be released from the state prison on 15th March, where he had been on remand awaiting trial.
12 named storms predicted for the 2016 Atlantic hurricane season.
This prediction provided by scientists Dr. William Gray and Dr. Philip Klotzbach, who have indicated it will be near average activity for the 2016 Atlantic hurricane season. This is not the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center. That prediction is expected mid-May. However, the Colorado State University scientists say of the 12 named storms expected, 5 hurricanes and 2 major hurricanes could develop in the Atlantic. Forecasters explain what will happen for this season is that El Niño will weaken and transition to neutral or La Niña conditions. During a neutral phase, there is less hindrance in cloud development and normal conditions expected. During the La Niña phase, cloud development is further enhanced, facilitating tropical storms and increased rainfall activity. The 2015 Atlantic hurricane season was below normal. The Office of Disaster Management is reminding the public of the importance to take steps for early preparation, as according to a statement by the ODM, it only takes 1 hurricane to make it an active season. The statement said the government of Dominica will do all in its power to ease the effects or impacts of any storm or hurricane.
Other top stories now, health authorities continue to reassure citizens that there is no need for alarm in the wake of an increase in confirmed Zika cases.
The Ministry of Health has announced 4 new cases of Zika infection. The first local transmitted Zika case was confirmed here on March 15. A pregnant woman is among those currently infected. She is not hospitalized, but according to the Ministry of Health, she is being closely assessed and managed by a team of consultant and medical specialist doctors. There is no evidence of any congenital malformation, such as microcephaly of the pregnant woman's unborn child at this time. Microcephaly is a complication of Zika, which means that an infected pregnant woman could pass on the infection to her unborn baby. The disease also leads to babies being born with unusually small heads, which means underdeveloped brains. The mosquito-borne Zika virus can also be transmitted via blood transfusion and sexual intercourse. As part of the Ministry of Health's response, an intense and sustained campaign aimed at reducing the breeding of Aedes aegypti mosquito has been ongoing. You are urged to keep water drums and barrels tightly covered and throw out stagnant water from flower vases, old tires, and other containers that might act as breeding sites. Use repellent and nets and wear long-sleeve clothing to protect from mosquito bites.
In more news, officials of U.S.-based travel company Expedia Inc. and French airline Air Atiaz are among those who will address this year's National Tourism Trade Show and Cocktail Seminar.
The Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association launched 2 of its flagship events forming part of Tourism Awareness Month, carded for May. Those activities are the Tourism Trade Show and Cocktail and Hike Fest. Executive Vice President of DHTA, Stephanie Astafan, says that this year's Tourism Trade Show will feature top speakers in the tourism and travel industry on air access, technology, and investment.
A highlight of NTTC 2016 will be the keynote address from Air Antilles CEO and President Serge Tigalnitsky, who will define opportunities for aligning airlift objectives to drive visitor arrivals to Dominica. The Air Access keynote will kick off the day at 2 p.m. at the Fort Shirley Officers' Quarters and will be followed by peer-to-peer seminars on technology and investment led by Expedia and Secret Bay Residencies. This year, the trade show has received tremendous buy-in and support from the local business community and premium artisan producers. NTC 2016 features 11 trade show vendors in 6 product categories, 7 travel partners, and 8 artisan producers.
The April 30th event provides a platform for government officials and representatives of the international travel industry to meet.
Just as last year, the trade show will see the participation of key international travel trade partners, including Winair, Seabourn Airlines, Air Antilles, Express des Îles, tour operators Expedia, Carib Holidays, and Going Places Barbados. These travel partners will be coming to Dominica to meet and collaborate with key government officials and industry participants in attendance, creating a unique opportunity and environment for cooperation. The intention is to inspire their confidence and commitment to Dominica, which will in turn ensure the future success of the local tourism industry, local tourism enterprises, and by extension, the national economy.
The event will run from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. at $50 a ticket, scheduled for Portsmouth's Cabot National Park. HikeFest 2016 is being branded HikeFest Origins and features 4 hikes in May themed Kalinago, European, African, and Creole.
A team of experts is currently on island to continue searching for the elusive black-capped petrels. Andrea Louis has more.
The black-capped petrel, locally known as the diablote bird, is an endangered species as its population has severely declined over the years. In January 2015, a team from Environmental Protection in the Caribbean, EPIC, was in Dominica using radar technology to determine whether or not diablote birds were on island. This time around, Dr. George Wallace of the American Bird Conservancy is heading a team from Cupo Jaragua from the Dominican Republic on a technical exchange regarding further research on the diablote bird.
The idea is that we're following up on a collaborative project between the Forestry Division and EPIC, Environmental Protection in the Caribbean, a collaborative project that they did together back in January 15 using radar, which discovered the presence of possibly many black-capped petrels, diablotin, here in Dominica. And so the idea was to follow up on that expedition with basically a technical exchange between between Grupo Jaragua, which is an NGO that we've been working with in Hispaniola on black-capped petrel, and really they're the field experts on the bird and know the most about the nesting behavior of the bird and its nesting habitat. And so what we're trying to do here in Dominica is to follow up on the radar studies and confirm, hopefully, the presence of nesting black-capped petrels. And it would be the first time that they've been confirmed nesting in the country since 1862.
Wallace says there are indicators that the black-capped petrels may be nesting in Dominica.
I think there's every reason to believe that there are black-capped petrels here. I mean, they encountered nearly 1,000 targets, is what they refer to them as. They were petrel targets. With the radar, and there's no reason to believe that there would be those numbers of birds here if they weren't actually nesting. Because the black-capped petrels are nocturnal, so while they spend most of their lives at sea, they return to land to breed, but they only return to land at night. So they fly up the valleys and into the mountains at night, and then they nest in small crevices or cavities in the ground. And so this makes it extremely difficult to detect because there could be petrels, many petrels nesting here, and no one would ever know it.
The discovery of black-capped petrels would mean big things for the island.
And I think it's significant for the country because really that makes Dominica the steward of a very important population of a globally endangered bird. And Dominica already has an important and very I think world-recognized track record of conservation of endangered species such as the red-necked parrot and the imperial parrot. And so I think this would really kind of add to that legacy.
The technical team is working in close collaboration with the Forestry, Wildlife and Parks Division to search for the birds. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
Dominica's forest conservation practices have come in for high praise from a regional institution.
Ernst Roop from Grupo Jaragua, based in the Dominican Republic, is currently on island researching the black-capped petrel or diablote bird in Dominica. At present, there is a population of black-capped petrels on the island of Hispaniola. However, these birds are continuously under threat due to human action.
The highest population we have in Haiti, and there, because of the economic conditions, people are in the move to actually cover the last areas for agriculture, or use them for agriculture. So the biggest threat is human threat regarding the last areas where the petrel is actually nesting. On the side of the Dominican Republic, it's forest fires. We have a lot of forest fires which are threatening the few colonies we have there.
Currently, there is an estimated 5,000 black-capped petrels around the world. Roop says Dominica's forest conservation practices provide good protection for these diablote birds if found nesting here.
And when it comes to reproduction, then it goes to the highest peaks here in the Caribbean. It nests in the ground, actually. Yeah, it looks for crevices. It actually digs some holes also if it doesn't find crevices, and that's where it puts one only egg. What I've seen so far, that you have wonderful way of doing things here to protect what is nature here, so I'm not worried. On the contrary, I think we have to find the bird and then know where it is, and from there the department here will take action and will do whatever is possible to preserve it.
Grupo Jaragua has extensive on-the-ground experience with the black-capped petrel species, its habitat requirements, and nesting behavior. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
Coming up, we take you to the scene of a serious accident on the Massac Highway. Welcome back. A smash-up between a motorbike and SUV on the Massac Highway Friday afternoon has left a Maho man critically injured.
Stuart Lamar of Maho was the bike rider. The accident occurred near the Massac Canefield Primary School. At the time of this report, it was not clear what caused the accident.
A year-long project to demolish and reconstruct the West Bridge is due to begin next month. Minister for Public Works, Senator Miriam Blanchard, signed the $18 million contract for the project this week. The project includes reconstruction of retaining walls and associated drainage work between the West Bridge and the EC Low Block Bridge. It will also include dredging of the Roseau River between the Dominica-China Friendship Bridge and the EC Low Block Bridge.
The conceptualization of the Roseau Enhancement Project commenced in 2013 and resulted in a presentation to the public by NSG Management and Technical Services Limited at the State House. Many will then remember that presentation that sought to provide an overview of the concept at that time. The following year in 2014, an MOU was signed between the Government of Dominica and NSG Management and Technical Services Limited. The following year in 2015, a design contract was signed between the government and NSG Management and Technical Services Limited.
The elements of the Roseau Enhancement Project would include, among other things, the replacement of the West Bridge, a comprehensive study of traffic and water systems in the city, and street upgrades. With its first successful slaughter, the National Abattoir is well on its way to helping reduce the amount of money we spend on imported meat. You can now find poultry from the abattoir at various shops and supermarkets.
We are at the stage whereby right now, as I speak, you could buy a wholesome premium bird, chicken, at Save-A-Lot, at Astafans, at Whitchurch, at Lindomac, and at Menegas. This is good news for the country. The abattoir has passed its tipping point. The government promised and bring to fruition the facility Now we have a chance to demonstrate to ourselves, because we have to take ownership of the abattoir and what we're doing, to go to the stores in Roseau and demand from the retailers and the wholesalers your own bird. And like I tell people, if you get a bird that is compared to the imported bird, then we're not doing our job. Our bird has to be far superior in quality, in premium, and in its locality, where it was grown, its freshness, its wholesomeness, how healthy it is, and best of all, where it was processed. And it was processed right here in our own national abattoir. So we are calling on the public to go out there and demonstrate to ourselves. Let's make that impact on our meat import bill, so that after a couple of years we can look back and say, job well done.
Parliamentary representative for the Woodford Hill constituency is urging those who travel via sea to be cautious when doing so.
His comments come on the heels of 2 missing individuals from the constituency. The Woodford Hill residents left for Marigalant via fishing boat and were due to return on 14th March. However, there has been no word from the missing residents.
We are praying with the family. I was with the family just sometime last week. Of course, there are concerns that very little information seems to be coming out of the authorities. However, be it as it may, the community is still very optimistic and living in hope that the people will return back to us, at least alive.
Basil is cautioning everyone, especially fishermen, to exercise best practices when heading out to sea.
Well, we want to continue to encourage the fishermen to work with the fisheries division with respect to what is required. Speak to the experts with respect to what is required as you leave off for sea. We want to encourage the fishermen to invest into their safety because whenever one person happens to go missing, that is too much for the community.
The acting minister for social services believes acknowledging challenges in society is one way for families to build better communities. Andrea Louis has more.
Rosalind Paul says today's family is confronted by several issues, including single-parent households, domestic violence, and poverty. Paul also expressed concern for modern technology, which affects local culture.
Then we have the influence of outside cultures that depletes some of our moral values, some of our traditional values, some of our cultural practices. Children in particular are at risk within our society, and they are at risk often right within the family setting. They need protection, they need to be provided for, they need love and respect. We really need to target the family and local communities so that a number of the issues that we see, we would begin to see a reduction in it. The abuse, the child abuse, the drug abuse, the substance abuse generally, the violence, we would then begin to see a reduction.
Paul says not acknowledging challenges in society causes other institutions to work harder to instill a sense of normalcy among the population.
I believe that the other institutions of socialization, such as the school, the church, the community, is tasked with an even greater supportive or interactive role. I also believe that we cannot be silent on all of these issues that one way or the other we will pay for, or one way or the other will affect our lives. So therefore we cannot be silent or we cannot be passive.
The acting minister highlighted the importance of bridging the gap between generations of Dominicans.
For instance, we could encourage our young people to provide services to the elderly, to interact with the senior people. Even the cultural groups, the opportunities where the young people can learn so much from our elders. Getting our young people to interact with our more senior folks can allow us to preserve knowledge and to build on that knowledge. I would also encourage agencies and institutions and individuals as well to show care and love for others. For our daily lives, we should exemplify our spiritual, moral, and ethical values.
Paul spoke at the launching of FIRES, Families Inspiring Resilient and Empowered Societies, the platform of Miss Dominica 2016, Tasia Flosak. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
That's news, your sports highlights. Next. First up, Minister for Youth and Sports Honorable Justina Charles has encouraged young high school boys to create a healthy balance between schoolwork and sports. Her comments come at the opening of the Sports Division organized 2016 First Domestic Insurance Under-15 Cricket Championship.
You can only give your best if you are disciplined. It means, therefore, you manage your time effectively and efficiently. You take your academics, you balance it. While you are students at school, you spend time doing your academics, but you spend quality time practicing the sports that you enjoy.
Meantime, sports coordinator Trevor Shillingford says insufficient spectatorship is still a concern at school games. He says Dominica can look to Jamaica for an example of how support in sports could enhance those events.
Too often we see our young people participating in positive activities such as this, and the support that is needed in terms of spectatorship, it is not there. And we can point to Jamaica, for instance. If you look at any school sports program on television coming out of Jamaica, what you will see is maximum support in the stands for the young men or the young women. This is one area which will motivate the young people to continue to perform at their very best.
On the field for football, the Dominica Football Association will host its third club licensing consultation at the Benjamin's Park on Saturday from 11 a.m. The seminar is intended to sensitize teams and clubs through the club licensing initiative, which will be implemented at the beginning of the 2016-2017 football season. The meeting will target Dublin Football Club and Northern Concrete and Steel Bombers from the Premier Division, the Itassi, Nemesis, and Collio United teams, MV Maxino Bombers, Ganvilia Renegades, and West Coast Jaguars in the Division 1 League, and in the women's competition, Bombers Starlights and Wood City Strikers. However, all teams and clubs that missed the previous sessions can capitalize on Saturday's seminar. Following the third session, teams and clubs can benefit from further consultation from CONCACAF Club Licensing Manager Jonathan Martinez, who will be on island in May. Meantime, there were one draw and one win in action from the All-Island League on Thursday. Gerald George has details.
Petit Savan Dream Team and Club Loubier played 2-2 all draw at the Pori playing field. Lucas Joseph and Pandrico Santos scored for Petit Savan Dream Team, with Kyle Del Sol getting both goals for Club Loubier. In the other match at the Newton playing field, Deltol United defeated Wayne George Academy 2-0. Lionel Desiree and Sean Sandy scored for Deltol United.
And here is your football lineup for the weekend.
On Sunday, Nemesis United will battle Jubla Football Club at the Benjamin Park at 5 p.m. And in the Domlec Women's League on Sunday, defending champions New India Goodwill Runners will take on Bomber Starlights in the first match of a doubleheader at the Newton playing field from 3 p.m. to be followed by New Generation Sports Club versus Dive Dominica Harlem United at 5 p.m. While at the Taser Grounds in Maho, Wood City Strikers will battle Maho Soka Strikers at 3 p.m.
On the basketball court, Detroit Blazers defeated Elijah Law Chambers Thunderers 104-62 in the 2016 DABA League on Thursday night. Thomas Felix and Nathan John Jules both added 20 to help put Blazers in the lead. Craig Angle contended with 21 for Thunderers in a losing effort. Meantime, in the other match, Tigers won over Kelvedare Hurricanes 77-59. Tigers' top scorers were Sean Thomas with 23 and Haywood Powell with 21. For Hurricanes, Keston Williams scored at 24. And if you're looking out for basketball on the weekend, you could check out the Lindo Park at 7 and 9 p.m. on Saturday for matches between Fashion Line Falcons and United Insurance Sharks and Elijah Law Chambers Thunderers versus Fast Cash Prowlers. If you happen to be in the Portsmouth area on Sunday, the action continues at 6 with the Paybush Snipers and Digicel Cloud going head-to-head, while at 8 Eagles and E.H. Charles will be competing for the win. Still in sports, after weeks of delays due to preparation challenges, the 2016 Flow Dominica Amateur Volleyball League gets underway Saturday. The Portsmouth NCCU Sunrise and Breakers will be in competition with 3 teams playing. The women's team will compete at 4, the men's second division at 6, and the Division 1 squads will do battle at 8. The games are scheduled for Portsmouth. Coming back on the cricket scene, the Big Edge Gifford Tuse Softball League continues on Sunday with 2 matches. At 10:30, Marigot Stuco Hammers and Woodford Hill will meet up with bat and ball in hand, and at 2, Cornell Sports Club will play against Kalinago Territory. The action is set to unfold at Lindo Park. In female sports, New India Assurance Celtic secured yet another win in the 2016 Big Edge Financial Express Netball League when they defeated Spartan Knights 30-17 on Thursday. Ania Detouche 20 out of 24 and Julia Johnson 10 from 17 for the defending champs. For Knights, Chanel Nicholas got 10 from 27 and Rachel Seraphine 3 from 5. Meantime, in scheduled games, Sparts and Portsmouth Breakers will take to the court at 3 in some ball and hoop action, while at 4:30, Cocoa Town Cafe Portsmouth Secondary School will take on defending champs New India Assurance Celtic. Venue, Dominica Grammar School, Hart Court. In more weekend games, 4 matches are down for play in the Dominica Cricket Association organized leagues. In the Premier Division, the Dominica Cricket Association Academy will take on Jubila United at Benjamin's Park, while Northern Stars Sports Club will play Grand Bay Colts at Botanic Gardens. Both matches have 2 rounds of play starting from Saturday into Sunday. Meantime, in the intermediate round, Reuben Bakery Christian will battle Point Michelle Cricket Academy on Saturday. Sunday's game will feature a clash between Jubila United Stars and Gladiators Sports Club. The games begin at 10 a.m. That's all the time for sports. Do join us again next time. Your weekend weather report is next.
Good evening, Dominica, and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I'm your presenter, Marshall Alexander. We begin by taking a look at earlier infrared satellite imagery and what it showed. A trough system which continued to linger across the region today, and despite the presence of this trough, dry sinking air restricted cloud development across the region. Now, taking a look at earlier visible satellite imagery, what it showed, an increasing cloudiness across Dominica, mainly during the afternoon period. Taking a look at earlier radar imagery, and what it indicated, a few scattered showers across the region. Tonight's weather is expected to be fair to partly cloudy with only a few brief isolated showers, and these conditions are expected to continue into tomorrow with an increasing cloudiness by late afternoon into evening. Sea conditions are expected to be slight to moderate with waves peaking near 5 feet. Conditions for the next 3 days: fair to partly cloudy skies with a few brief scattered showers can be expected tomorrow. However, as we move into late Saturday into Sunday, an increasing cloudiness and scattered showers can be expected, and continuing into Monday, persons in areas prone to flooding, landslides, and falling rocks, you're advised to exercise caution. Conditions for the rest of the Caribbean tomorrow: fair to partly cloudy skies with light winds can be expected across the central and northern portion of the region, with an increasing cloudiness and scattered showers expected across the extreme northern portion of the island chain. Our international cities forecast: clear skies can be expected in New York and Beijing, some thunderstorm activity expected in Miami and Caracas, with some rain expected in London. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 5:50 a.m. and sunset will be at 6:20 p.m. For more information, you can call the weather hotline at 447-5555 or visit our website at weather.gov.dm. Thanks for viewing. Have a good weekend.
To end the news, the headlines again. A 12-year jail sentence for Clarence Luis for the 2012 murder of Marvin Robinson. Ministry of Health says no need for alarm as the number of Zika cases jumped to 5. And Dominica's conservation practices commended as research continues on the elusive Dabloter bird. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube page. On behalf of the production team, I am Kenny Williams. To our viewers around the world, thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.